अभी के लिए मैंने साइड में रखा। ये क्या चालू हो रहा है? बंद कर। किसका है? साईं बाबा का तो नहीं? लक्ष्मी नारायण।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So, welcome all of you once again for Saturday evening FOE class. So, today is the final or last or concluding session for level 1. And next week we have Yatra. As you all know, Srirangapatna we are all going. And after the Yatra, we'll begin level 2 classes. So, your mentors, respective mentors will coordinate with you who are eligible for level 2 sessions. They can continue for that. So today we'll have the final session, concluding session for level 1. And it's a very nice session, many things to be learned from it. So let's first of all begin with prayers. You can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, as we all know, today's session is completely based on Bhagavad Gita, and it is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So, we all know he is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Till now, you might have already heard so much glories of Srila Prabhupada. So, one pastime which I have been repeating in my past week, recently I had heard this pastime of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he was around 70-75 years old. So at that time, doctor had recommended that you should go on morning walk every day. So daily morning, 6 o'clock, 6:30, after Mangalarti, after chanting, he would go for morning walks with his disciples around. So at that time, when once they were passing from the place, and here golf course was there. Golf course, you all know, where people play golf. So Srila Prabhupada saw there that an old man, he woke up very early and he was making all arrangements for playing golf there. So Srila Prabhupada asked him that, what is this person doing? To his disciples, he asked. So the disciples told that they are preparing for golf. So Prabhupada asked, what is golf? So Prabhupada, golf is the game in which they are trying to put the ball in the hole. Prabhupada said, that's it. Yes. So for that, just for doing that purpose, this old man in his ripe old age is doing arrangement from morning to night, and he was feeling very compassionate. That morning he could wake up early, he could attend Mangalarti, he could do chanting. But the power of illusory energy is so much that from morning to night, this old person is trying to put the ball in the hole. That is just what he's trying to do from morning to night. So he felt very compassionate. Tears came out. He was thinking how much illusory potency of the Lord is, that people are completely illusioned. They don't know what kind of stupid activities they are wasting their time in, forgetting spirituality on the cost of spirituality. Even Prahlad Maharaj, this comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj prayers, where he prays that he says that I am not in any trouble, but I am worried about all these conditioned souls who are wasting their time in all the useless things and forgetting spirituality. So he prayed for all the attendants, and he said, even though his friends were from demon community, and demons generally don't take to bhakti, but still Prahlad Maharaj was such a pure devotee that everyone took up bhakti seriously and went back home, back to God. So the nature of devotees is very, very compassionate. In Hindi, there is a saying, Sant Hriday Navneet Samana. Sant means saintly person, and heart of a saintly person is compared to butter, because butter is considered to be very white and soft. So therefore, Prabhupada was like that, and because of his compassion, we are studying today Bhagavad Gita, little bit whatever we can understand. So today's class is based entirely on 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and few tinges are taken from 18th chapter and one more other chapter. But mainly it is focused upon 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So what is the name of today's session? Unveiling the mask. So what does it mean? So right now it is said generally we are all wearing a mask. It might not be visible. आप बोलेंगे हमें तो mask पहना नहीं हो. But actually we are all wearing one or the other mask because we have many faces. We have different faces. We behave differently in front of friends. We behave differently in front of boss. We behave differently in front of maybe girlfriend. We behave differently when we come here. As soon as people come here, they showcase very nice, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. very nicely, they'll talk. But then outside with friends, how they are, God only knows. So we are wearing many different kinds of faces. So hence today we'll try to unveil the mask and try to understand or explore that who we actually are. So let's begin with a trivial question. Have you ever wondered why behavior and mood of people change suddenly? Have you observed that? Suddenly, out of no reason, people start arguing or having different kind of mood. We call it mood swings. And it's not that it's there, it happens only in girls. It happens in boys also, mood swings. And then we also see sometimes a good person turns into bad, and a bad person also suddenly starts behaving in a very good manner. And sometimes we see close friends becomes worst enemies. We have seen that even where at some point of time they were best friends and now they hate each other to the core. So why these things happen? It's very contradictory. If we analyze this, very contradictory. Why such things happen? So this is for others' life, but in ourselves also. Have you ever wondered the reason for oscillation between good mood and bad mood? Sometimes for no reason we are in very good mood, very productive mood, but sometimes we feel very degraded, very lethargic. We feel very bad mood. We don't know the reason. Same day, same time, it might happen. Sometimes high production, sometimes low productivity. So this is a question to be wondered because you are the same person with same skills, same expertise, everything is same, but still in one case, on one day a person is performing very nice, but on the other day his performance is not to the match. So why? We are the same person with same skills, with same set of expertise, then why every time different results come? So that we are going to understand today. So this leads us to a very interesting question, that is someone controlling me? Because until and unless if someone is controlling me, why there are different results coming out? So this is a very nice question. So in any activity which I am doing, am I the only doer or there are other factors, other entities involved? So that we are going to see today from Bhagavad Gita. Because it seems that other factors are also involved. That's why the result is changing every time. So actually speaking, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said in any action, you are not the only doer, but there are 5 entities involved who are doing the fact, who are contributing to any action. So let's explore these 5 factors which as Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Adhishyanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidam vividascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Translation?
The place of action, the body, the performance, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
So any action that is taking place, even when I'm moving the hand or any bodily movement also I'm doing, I am not the only doer, but there are 5 entities involved. This is very interesting. Here carefully. First is the place of action, that is the body. It is written in bracket as easy as it is. So the place of action is body. So this body is involved. Second entity is performer. Who is the performer? Spirit soul. Basically, spirit soul is the performer. So body is involved, spirit soul involved. What is the third entity? Senses, the various senses. Now an interesting question might arise in your mind that body alag diya hai, senses alag diya hai. ऐसा क्यों? Body includes the senses, no? So why Krishna is mentioning it separately? Body differently, senses separately.
Opposite that we want to react, seeing the situation and the person. We have the different senses, depends upon the situation.
But when we say body, then automatically senses are included in it. So why separately it has to be mentioned?
Here we are talking about the body is including.
Okay. You are all coming close, so let me disclose it. So basically, our senses are considered to be subtle. It is not the part of gross body. Why? Have you ever seen when you close your eyes, still you can see some things, right? Like for example, in dream, when you are sleeping, your eyes might be closed, but still you can see so many things, so many objects around. So basically, that goes on to say our senses are not gross, but it is subtle. These are just medium to perceive it. The gross things which we see, eyes, nose, ears, all these are just gross mediums by which we can perceive. But actually, our senses are subtle. Because in dreams also you can see the things, you can touch the things, you can smell the thing. So all the senses are actually in subtle. In dream state, you are actually sleeping, but still this goes on to say, and in dream it appears so real, as if I'm actually there. So that goes on to say the senses are actually not gross, but it is subtle. So therefore, it is mentioned different from this gross body. So first one is place of action, body, gross body. Second is the spirit soul. Third one is the various senses, that is eyes, nose, ears, tongues, etc. And what is the fourth one? पढ़ना है, बस रीड करना है. क्या लिखा है उधर? आपका संस्कृत का एग्जाम नहीं लेना. हाँ. Different kinds of endeavor. The vividas chaiva prithak chaiva. That is different endeavors we put in to make an action successful. Let's say I want to pick up this phone. So the endeavor which I am doing in picking up the phone, that is also an entity. And finally, fifth one. Ultimately, what is the fifth one? Super soul. Without, it is said, without whose sanction nothing can happen. In any small activity also, his role is there. So therefore, any action which you are doing, you are not the one alone who is doing the action, but there are these five entities are involved. So therefore, we say anytime you are successful in life, anything which goes correct, we should not be too much proud. You are not the alone one. There are five entities, others also involved, four entities others. And when you are utter failure also in life, you should not worry. आप अकेले नहीं थे. There are four other things which were involving the final result or factors. So let's deeply try to analyze this. We can club these five into three. The three is doer, that is spirit soul, daiva, that is super soul, and then the third one is prakriti. So the three things, the body, the various senses, and different kinds of endeavors, this can be merged into prakriti, that is material nature. So these three entities will look and we'll see how in any action all these three entities are involved. Let's understand through a flow chart. So first of all, soul. So it is said the soul, it can only desire. What is there in the hand of spirit soul? That it can only desire. As soon as a person desires, let's say a beggar is there. He says, I want a nice flat, sea facing flat in the Juhu beach. Let's say he's desiring that. So a soul can only desire. He has desire. Now what will happen? The desire immediately will go to Paramatma, which is sitting in the heart. Super soul will note the desire. And then it will see that does he have enough karma credits. क्या उसने इतना pious credits, whether he has done so much pious credit that he is eligible to get such a flat and Juhu facing or not. So based upon that, if he has enough karma credits, then Paramatma what it does? It sanctions. कि हाँ चलो इसको allow कर दो. He orders the prakriti or material nature to facilitate him whatever he wants, facilitate him. So material nature basically executes. So what is the role of each and every entity? Soul can only desire. Once the soul has desired, what will happen? Paramatma will sanction based upon whether he has enough credits or not. And when Paramatma sanctions, he orders material nature or prakriti to fulfill his desire. So this is the triangle which is involved in each and every activity you see. With a simple example, we can understand. Like, let's say you are going for shopping. You want to buy a nice T-shirt or jacket or coat, something or whatever. You went to the place and now you like the T-shirt very much. You saw the price tag on it, and then you saw price tag 5,000 rupees, and then you open your wallet, and the credits which you have is only 1,000 rupees. So again, it is not sanctioned, and you will not be able to buy. But if you have more money, then you can buy the thing. Similarly, we can desire, I want this, that, but based upon our karma credits, Paramatma will finally sanction it or reject it, and material nature will facilitate it to give it. So let's see another graphic example. Let's say a person who is a chain smoker, he likes to smoke a lot, and he's feeling like, I want to smoke. So now the desire is there to smoke. Now Paramatma will note the desire. हाँ, इसको smoke करना है. So then he'll see, does he have enough karma credits or not. Let's say he has enough karma credits. So it will order the body, because body is part of Prakriti, material nature. We are different from the body. So it will order based upon the desire of soul. The body will move. It will go to the cigarette shop. It will take out the money from the wallet. It will give it to the cigarette shop owner. He will get the cigarette, and material nature will help him smoke based upon the sanctioning of Paramatma. So all this is happening in the background. We don't know. हमको तो लग रहा है मैं अकेला involved हूँ. In lifting the phone and lifting the hand, we think I am only involved. But it is said, even when I want to lift my hand, I am desiring to lift my hand. Immediately my desire goes to Paramatma. Paramatma sees that does he have credit to lift the hand? Yes, it is sanctioned. If it is not, then what we call it? We call it paralysis. External people call it paralysis. हाथ चला गया उसका. But spiritualists call it Paramatma's analysis. Paramatma ने analyze किया है whether he has enough credits or not. If no credits, then gone. So, and now whatever action he is doing, let's say a performer went and he drank cigarette. So now based upon this action, now his next cycle of Papa and Punya is generated. Let's say he did some bad activity. So now he, based upon that, he'll store karma credits, and based upon that, his future life will be designated. So everything you see, it happens so fast. Even I want to move and it happens momentarily. Paramatma says sanction karke, he allows him. It is said not even a blade of grass moves without the permission of Lord. You all have heard that saying? Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction or permission of the Lord. Now it leads to a very interesting question कि मतलब परमात्मा से कुछ भी sanction कर देते हैं, even wrong things. Let's say if I want to murder someone, if we go by this theory, that means if I want to murder someone, that means definitely Paramatma has sanctioned कि हाँ जाके उसका murder करो. Otherwise it cannot happen because blade of grass also does not move without the sanction of Paramatma. That means Paramatma is also sanctioning all bad activities. Is it true? What do you suggest? Let's understand with a small example. Let's say parents are there. Parents are very affectionate to their child. Now a small child is suffering from some cold, some disease, fever and all is going on. And now he wants to eat ice cream. Ice cream khana hai mujhe. Bimar hai but ice cream khana hai. So at that time what happens? He starts crying. No, I want to eat ice cream. I want to eat ice cream. He starts arguing with his parents and he keeps on crying. And now parents think abhi isko ice cream nahi diya to ro ro ke mar jayega ye. So better let me give him ice cream and then later on I'll give him medicine also. So similarly, we also, in a way, we force Paramatma to sanction our desires. Zabardasti nahi mujhe chahiye. And then Paramatma, based upon the force, he allows him कि हाँ चलो sanction कर दिया, but do it at your own risk. अब आगे जो होगा वो तुम्हारे हाथ में. So this is the role of Paramatma. Paramatma acts as a neutral entity within the heart, and the aim of it is to desire to fulfill the desire of the living entities. So therefore, when we force too much, when we are adamant on doing any bad activity also, so Paramatma also unwillingly he has to sanction. And then later on, he gives us the respective karma also in order to rectify us. So therefore, it is actually true that Paramatma is only sanctioning even the bad activities. So these three entities are involved in any action that we saw. Today, our focus will be mainly on third entity, that is Prakriti or material nature, because we already have discussed so much about spirit soul and super soul in our previous lectures. So today we'll discuss on Prakriti. And after understanding that, you will all automatically realize that why mood swings happen, why good friends becomes worst enemy, and what all questions we discussed initially. So there are three modes of material nature. So these are the three modes. Like TV में बहुत सारे modes होते हैं. This mode, that mode. Even air cooler, air conditioning, it has different kinds of modes. So material nature also has three kinds of modes. So we'll discuss today these three modes. These are goodness, passion, and ignorance. So all the living entities are either in these three modes. So in today's class, I'll tell you the characteristics of each and every mode. I'll tell the characteristics of people who are in mode of goodness, people who are in mode of passion, people who are in mode of ignorance. And at the end, you tell me that which mode you are in. So you see कि किसके साथ मेरे characteristics match हो रहे हैं. And then after the discussion, you tell me that who are in which mode. So first of all, let's see about goodness. So goodness, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about that what is mode of goodness and which kind of people are a performer who is in mode of goodness, a worker who is in mode of goodness. So this verse you can repeat after me. Mukta sango na hamvadi dhrityutsaha samanvitaha siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha karta satvika uchyate. Translation.
One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without falsehood, with great determination and enthusiasm, without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a walker in the mode of goodness.
So here the performer or the worker in mode of goodness, what are his characteristics? He performs his duty, he performs his action as a duty. He does not see the result, what is there in it for me, but he performs his action as a mode of duty. And then without false ego. Generally, people you see without any reason, they are very proud in their life. Like an example is given once, one senior devotee was sharing that a railway station was there and he was going to the washroom. And the washroom, that was paid washroom. Like you have to pay 2 rupees, 5 rupees like that to use that washroom. So he went inside, and the worker, the main person who was there, who was collecting the money, he was not there outside. So the person was not there outside to collect the money. So the person went inside, and later on, after finishing, he came outside, and the person who was there on the counter, he was collecting money. He came in front of him, and he started asking him, "मुझसे पूछे बिना अंदर कैसे चले गए? How you went inside without paying and all that?" He started arguing. He said, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I am the main person, the chief here. I take care of this toilet very nicely." So he was thinking that, see, he's doing nothing, but he's just collecting 2 rupees, 5 rupees outside. But his ego is making him think that he is a very, very highly exalted person, some personality. The ego is there in each and everyone. Even though we perform very small and petty activities, but still we think, myself, I'm a very, very great person. Like an example comes once in a jungle, in a forest, a frog was there. A frog was jumping hither, thither. So he found a 5 rupees coin inside. And when he saw the money, he became very happy. मुझे 5 रुपए मिल गए. In all the other animals in the whole forest, they are penniless. They don't even have a paisa. But I am 5 rupees. So he became very proud that I am now the king of jungle. Now everyone, each and every animal should listen about me. And then suddenly an elephant was coming from the opposite side. And he started shouting at elephant, "Hey, how come you come in front of my road? Just go away from my road." And the elephant was it's very high. Frog's voice is this much. It did not go in the ears of the elephant. And the elephant just kept on walking. He could not even hear. And frog was there. So elephant was walking, walking, walking. Somehow the frog escaped all the four legs of elephant. But then the elephant got urge of stomach clearing. So he released the toilet, and that fell on the frog, and frog died immediately. So a person is nothing, but if he gets little achievement, he becomes very proud. So this is the idea of modes of material nature. But then a person who is in mode of goodness is without this ego. So therefore, it's called false ego. It's not correct ego. We are just a tiny spirit soul. There is nothing to be proud of. So therefore, a person who is in mode of goodness, he understands this reality and he does not get proud unnecessarily. And then he works with great determination and enthusiasm, and this is very important. He is equipoised without wavering in success or failure. Be it success, be it or failure, it does not matter to him. He will keep performing his duty. So such a person is to be considered a person who is in mode of goodness. Now let's see what is the happiness of a person. How does a person in mode of goodness derives his happiness? So this is another verse. Yattadagre visham eva परिणामे अमृतोपमम् तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम्. Translation.
which in the beginning may be just like poison, and but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens not to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness.
So that happiness which feels like poison in the beginning, but at the end it feels like nectar, that is considered to be for a person in mode of goodness, happiness. So basically, they have the motto: hard work first, enjoy later. Any example of any activity in mode of goodness you can see which feels like poison at the beginning, but then at a later point of time it becomes nectar. We see like doing yoga or exercise. Initially बहुत मुश्किल होता है to make it a habit. People start also, but in couple of days they quit off. You see even gym people. So they also, whenever 1st January is there, they'll be very happy because they know many resolutions will come. And let's say they have capacity of 40 people only, but still they take more than 100 registrations many times because they are confident that after few days no one will show up, no one will come. So that is the time where they earn a lot of money. Because a person who is in mode of goodness, only he can perform activities consistently, and initially it might feel like poison, but ultimately it feels like nectar. Even devotional service, in that matter we see initially chanting and all, it becomes very, very difficult. To become regular in chanting also, it becomes very difficult. But then those devotees who have mastered chanting, they derive so much pleasure from chanting that they have to stop and ruk jao, abhi rukna padega. There are devotees who can keep on chanting whole day also. So chanting is one of that example. Even coming to classes also, initially it might feel mind will trick so much, आज जाना है, आज छोड़ देते हैं, आज रहने देते हैं. But then when you come to classes तो लगता है, at least I feel good कि हाँ चलो अच्छा है, आज आके अच्छा लगा क्लास में. So this is person in mode of goodness. He is equipoised, and then he does not waver in success and failure, and he performs all his activities as a matter of duty. Now let's see the characteristics of person who is in mode of passion. Ragi karma phala prepshur lubdo himsatmako suchi harsha shokanvita karta rajasah parikirtitah. Translation:
Who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion.
So we see a little difference from mode of goodness. Like in mode of goodness, the person was thinking, why was he working? As a matter of duty. But here, what is the motivation for mode of passion? A person or worker in mode of passion is fruits. Result क्या है मेरे लिए, कितना पैकेज मिलेगा मुझे, only then that is his motivation for work. कितना पैकेज मिलेगा उसके हिसाब से मैं काम करूंगा. So what is in it for me? His thinking is मेरे लिए क्या है अंदर, how much package in. So that is mode of goodness will perform his duty, he perform his action only as a matter of duty. And then he is always greedy or envious. I want to be better than others, and he is ready even to pull the leg of other person. We see so much that happening in corporate world. In corporate world, people want to emblem themselves that I am only the person who is performing, and they'll pull the legs of other people in the team so that I can get the promotion. So this corporate life is full of such people, and such people are never satisfied in the life. How much ever they get in the life, they are never satisfied. They start with 1 RK, 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK. Villa bhi mil jayega, they'll not feel satisfied. They'll always feel greedy and envious. I want more and more. I want more and more, like that. And then when they are successful in life, they become very happy, exalted. But when they are unsuccessful, they go into depression. But a person in mode of goodness, we see he was not wavered by success and failure. He was equipoised in all conditions. But a person in mode of passion, he gets disturbed by this. अगर अच्छा चल रहा है चीजें तो he'll be very very happy. अगर बुरा चल रहा है चीजें तो he'll become very sad and depressed also. So these are the characteristics of person who is in mode of passion. And what is the happiness? The kind of happiness which is derived विषेन्द्रिय संयोगात् यत्तद् अग्रे अमृतोपमम् परिणामे विषम् इव तत्सुखं राजसं स्मृतम्. Translation:
The happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end is said to be the nature of passion.
The happiness which is derived from combination of objects of senses and sense objects, the various 5 senses and the sense objects, when the combination is there, and then it appears as nectar at first and poison at end. Is it little different from what we heard for goodness? It is completely opposite. In goodness, initially it was poison, later nectar. In passion, initially it is very very nectarian, but later it becomes poisonous. Any example that comes to your mind? Any activity initially बहुत अच्छा लगता है, but in the longer run it becomes poisonous. Correct. Alcohol addictions, intoxication, cigarette, drugs. ये kick वो kick मिलेगा, but then last में they don't know यमराज का kick भी मिलेगा अच्छा. So these are people who are going for instant happiness. Like in material world right now, we see everything instant, say instant noodles, instant sense gratification, and that all leads to very very bad kind of tragedies in the longer run. Even we see rash driving and all, it gives so much kick initially, but then later point of time, it's when accident and all these things happen, then we realize this. Even instant relationships in material world, in modern world now, it is very very common. Instant, initially love at first sight, divorce at first fight. You heard this saying? Very famous thing. Therefore, these all the instant things, everything of this is involved in mode of passion. Their logo is enjoy now, consequences we'll see later. So that is a person in mode of passion. Now we'll see ignorance, a person who is in mode of ignorance. So the name itself is very nice, person in ignorance. So let's see the characteristics of him. अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः शप्तो निष्कृतो आलसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते. Translation.
The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, it is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance.
Such nice qualities are mentioned. He works against the injunctions of scriptures, who is materialistic, very obstinate, cheating, expert in insulting others, who is lazy, morose, procrastinating. Are you all able to match the qualities here? Procrastination. Most of them are in many people. They come for counseling. Rosie, मेरी आदत है procrastinate करने की, and then later I keep on regretting, but I am not able to change this habit. So you see, in material world right now in Kali Yuga, these modes are very very prevalent. Like one person, he was there in my college. So for he had not studied the whole year, and whole night he was preparing for the exam, some science exam or something exam was there. He prepared for whole night, and then 5 बजे उसने सोचा मैं 1 घंटा सो जाता हूँ, 6 बजे उठ के एग्जाम के लिए जाऊंगा, और आंखें खुला तो 11 बज रहा था. तो पर्सन हु इज इन मोड ऑफ इग्नोरेंस, उसका सोने का टाइम शुरू होता है सुबह 5 बजे. A person in mode of goodness, he sleeps very early, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock max. Person in mode of passion will sleep at 11, 12. But a person in mode of ignorance, उसके लिए जैसे ही रात होती है, अंधेरा होता है तो हाँ fresh लग रहा है अभी. Now freshness starts and he will. We have seen people who even sleep at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. People generally ask us at what time you wake up. And we say we wake up around 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. बोले प्रभु जी आप रात को क्यों उठ जाते हो? Why do you wake up at night? I say it's not night already. It's Mangal Shubh Muhurat and Mangal Aarti ka Muhurat time. It's very auspicious time to wake up. But a person who is in mode of ignorance is completely opposite to person in mode of goodness. जो इसके लिए दिन है वो इसके लिए रात है, इसके लिए रात है वो इसके लिए दिन है. That is a person who is in mode of ignorance. So these are the qualities of person in mode of ignorance. And now let's see the happiness. Happiness of a person in ignorance. So goodness का happiness क्या था? Nectar at the नहीं, poison at the beginning, nectar at the end. Passion का क्या था? Nectar at beginning, poison at end. Ignorance का क्या होगा? अभी तो कॉम्बिनेशन ही नहीं बचा कोई. Very smart answer. यदग्रे चानुबन्धेन सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्तम तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम्. Translation.
And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is illusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion is said to be the nature of ignorance.
So poison in the beginning, poison in the end. So शुरुआत से poison है, end में भी poison है. But then there are people who are in mode of ignorance and they think they are very happy or they are enjoying life. For them, even though externally speaking हमारे लिए वो madness लगेगा, but for him there is happiness. Example is given. Some people, they are extreme levels. They like to cut their nerves with the blades. You have seen such people, extreme mad people. उनके लिए they'll cut the nerve and when blood is oozing out, they'll say, "Wow, this is happiness." This is extreme madness. A person in mode of ignorance, this is the happiness for the person. शुरुआत में भी poison है, end में भी it's also poison. So now we have seen the characteristics. We have seen the happiness. Now tell me which mode you are in. तो मोड ऑफ गुडनेस में कितने लोग हैं? पैशन, ignorance, mix of all. Nice. So actually speaking, there are no pure goodness, passion or ignorance. We are all a combination of all these three things. So a particular combination of mode makes a personality. Therefore we see each and everyone is different. 3 modes here, but still all persons are different. Why? Because there is different combination of goodness, passion and ignorance involved. Some person will be 10% goodness, 10% passion, 80% ignorance. So there can be any number of combinations, and therefore there are people with different amounts of moods. No two people are same. Even twins are different when it comes to their mode and characteristics because they have different types of combination of goodness, passion, and ignorance. An example is given of mixing. Like the three basic colors are red, green, blue. But by RGB we say. But by the combination of them, how many colors can be produced? Infinite shades can be produced if we go more shade wise. So similarly, these three are the basic modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And by the combination of these three things, a particular nature is formed, and that nature can be of various or infinite shades. So what is the proof? Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Rajas tamasya vibhiya Sattvam bhavati bharata Rajasatvam tamasyaiva Tamasatvam rajastatha. Translation.
Sometimes the mood of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
So this is sometimes a person might feel in goodness, but sometimes other two modes, passion, ignorance, might take over. Sometimes person in mode of passion, goodness, ignorance, etc., might take over. So anytime the way it's like throwing in a waves. कौन सी wave कब आ जाएगी we don't know. So therefore, now tell me, we begin with an initial question. Let's say I'm making a statement, and based upon whatever you have understood till now, you say whether the statement is correct or not. I am saying that so and so person is bad. Is it a correct statement or incorrect statement? Why it is? If no, why it is incorrect? Correct. Maybe at that. You're saying something. Perfect. So basically, you don't know which mode is prevalent in me at this point of time. Maybe I might be in ignorance at some point of time and I did a stupid activity. But then at later point of time, when goodness will be prevalent, I might do good activities also. So therefore, we cannot label a person as good or bad because all this happens under the influence of these three modes of material nature. He might be in ignorance right now, but then later at point of time, goodness will also come. So this answers our initial question. Initially, we begin why people change drastically. Why sometimes good friends becomes worst enemies. Even in ourselves, why we feel so much productive at some point of time and so much lethargic at other points of time. So all this happens only and only because the influence of these three modes of material nature. Basically, they are, you have seen वो कठपुतली show देखा है किसी ने? कठपुतली puppet show. So in that there are people who are just moving the puppets. So who are we? We are puppets. We are not the one who is moving. So these three modes of material nature are influencing us at each and every point of time, sometimes inducing us to perform good activities, sometimes also inducing us to perform bad activities. And this is how sometimes good friends becomes worst enemy and so on, the things which we all discuss. So now the question comes, how do we get into these modes? Why sometimes goodness is acting on me, why sometimes passion, and why sometimes ignorance? What decide next which mode will act in me or which mode I'll be in right now? So what decide the which mode we are in? So this also comes in Bhagavad Gita. Purusha prakriti-stho hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sad asad yoni janmasu. Translation.
The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various people.
So, what is the deciding factor? Association. Perfect. So, association we take in different ways. Like we associate with various kinds of food. We go to different places and we meet different people. So, all this, even food comes under three modes. So what are the some examples of food in mode of goodness? An example which you can give. Fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables, milk, grains, all this comes in mode of goodness. And then mode of passion means those who are too bitter, too salty, too pungent. भैया थोड़ा और तीखा करो, make it more spicy. All this comes under mode of passion. And then mode of ignorance food are basically non-veg and all these kinds of foods which makes a person into tamogun or makes forget. Therefore, we see those people who are too much into eating non-veg, they are not able to take up spirituality very nicely. because when they are completely covered by mode of ignorance, they cannot progress nicely. So therefore, food decides what mode we are in. Another deciding factor is place, which place you are in. Now, let's say if you are in some disco or club, you are there. So that is completely passion and ignorance environment. अब मैं वहाँ पे भगवत गीता लेके जाऊँ, Prabhu ji, please read one sloka from Prabhu. You will not be able to, because that is an environment of passion and ignorance. Where how can you do any activity of mode of goodness there? It's not there. You cannot do chanting, definitely. And then there is also example of here, like this is a place in mode of goodness. Now here, if you sit here and I give you एक छोटा सा पैक बना के दो मेरे को, प्रभु जी एक पियो, मजा आएगा. Can you drink here in this environment? That means the place decides which mode you are in. So therefore, those people who go to those places which are so much in mode of goodness, then they also acquire the quality of mode of goodness. So therefore, class में many people share this realization. They come to the class में आके प्रभु जी बहुत अच्छा लगा, भक्ति अच्छे से करूँगा पक्का, and I now will chant 4 rounds daily. And as soon as they step outside into their PG environments, then because of so much ignorance and passion, they forget everything. So therefore, we say we have to be in nice tight association with devotees. At that time, good qualities will automatically manifest. And then the people whom we are associating with. There might be people in mode of ignorance. पूछो क्या करने जाना है, आज बस सोते हैं, आज सोना है मेरे को. So when we associate with such people, we also go in ignorance. When we associate with passionate people, we also get the mode of passion. And when we associate with specifically devotees who are in mode of goodness, then we also get that kind of nature, mode of goodness. So all these factors involve which mode you will be in. The food, the place, the people which you interact with. So all this will decide which mode you are in. So therefore, we regularly tell people that associate more with devotees in order to cultivate goodness in your life. Now, which is the good mode to be in? किसमें रहना बढ़िया है? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Goodness. पक्का? Okay. Let's understand with an analogy. So once there was a king, a minister, and his soldier. So these three people were there. They went on for hunting. So they went inside. They went too much inside, and they forgot the way out, and they got lost in the jungle. They got lost in the forest, and some tribal people came, and they arrested them. The king, the minister, and soldier. They arrested them, and then they put the king in a prison which was made of gold. They imprisoned the minister in the prison made of silver, and they imprisoned the soldier in the prison made of iron. So tell me, whose condition is better? तीनों का सेम कंडीशन है. एक्सटर्नली गोल्ड का बना है, बट वो किस काम का है उसका? So similarly, all these three modes are imprisonment upon spirit soul. So therefore, mode of goodness might appear to be good initially, but then it is also binding. How it binds, how the mode of goodness also binds a person to this material world, that we'll see. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayati uta. Translation.
Son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action and ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness.
So a person in ignorance, how he is bound? He is bound by madness. A person in mode of passion, how he is bound? By fruitive action, like based upon his profit and loss. The person in mode of goodness, how he is bound? Happiness. मैं खुश. You have seen people, मैं satisfied हूँ life में. I am doing my job nicely. I have nice family. मैं exercise करता हूँ, मैं योगा करता हूँ. भक्ति करने की क्या जरूरत है ना? So I am happy in my life right now. Everything is going on. I perform my work as a matter of duty only. So I don't think I need spirituality. I don't need bhakti. But what is the problem in this? It will bind you to. So it will not help you to liberate yourself from the three modes of material nature. You'll be stuck in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Again and again, a person in mode of goodness will also die, and he also has to take birth again and again. So in this way, a person in mode of goodness is very much happy and satisfied, and that is only the result of his binding. कि मैं खुश हूँ. जैसे an example is given, a person is in jail. In jail, he has got nice facilities. एक TV लगा हुआ है. You see politicians when they go into jail, they get all the facilities. Nice bed they get, nice food they get, बिरयानी मिलेगा खाने को, और टीवी वगैरह चलेगा, तो he feels satisfied. हाँ, नहीं जाना कहीं पे, ही रहना है मेरे को. But they forget what is the life of freedom. जेल के बाहर भी दुनिया है, वो भूल जाते हैं उस चीज को. Similarly, mode of goodness also provides some little bit of temporary good facilities here, but the problem is the happiness which we derive from it. It is binding. It does not help a person to think that I am suffering and I want to break the cycle of birth and death. So that idea does not come in the mind of a person in mode of goodness. So therefore, all three modes are equally binding, and the goal of our spiritualist is to break this influence of three modes of material nature and rise above it by practicing his spirituality. So therefore, as of now, I am conditioned by three modes. How many of you believe you are all conditioned in three modes? Definitely everyone. So how to get out of these three modes? Now that is the question. Problem statement to samajh liya. Abhi solution important. How to get free from these modes? So that also Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Mamcha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitetan Brahma bhuvaya kalpate. Translation.
One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahma.
So, how to transcend the modes of material nature? One who engages in full devotional service. Mamcha yo avyabhicharena. Avyabhicharena means without any other engagements, only devotional service, morning to night, nothing. That person can easily break the influence of three modes of material nature. ऐसा नहीं है 2 माला किया अभी दूसरे काम करो. Then the purpose or the quantity by which you do devotional service, by that quantum you are freed from the influence of modes of material nature. So therefore, we see those spiritualists who are very good in their sadhana of chanting, especially chanting, they become very much less influenced by the three modes of material nature. There are people who are working in offices, but they chant 2 hours daily in the morning. 16 rounds, they finish their chanting and then they go to their office environment and they feel very much less influence. Because in office, the atmosphere is completely of passion and ignorance. People are just pulling you here and there. Boss ये बोलेगा, colleagues ये बोलेंगे, इधर invest करो, उधर invest करो. Boss बोलेगा काम क्यों नहीं हुआ, ये क्यों नहीं हुआ. But such people who do their spiritual sadhana very nicely, they are least impacted by all these pulls of modes of nature, which come from people, association, and food, and so many things. So therefore, it's very important to do devotional service. As I keep on saying, that devotional service is not optional. The topmost of devotional service is chanting, because Krishna only, he has said that in Kali Yuga, Krishna has came or descended in the form of holy name. Holy name. Kali Kale Krishna hai Nam Avatar. So therefore, those who are chanting the names, they are directly in relationship with Krishna. And those who are in relationship with Krishna, then modes of nature cannot impact that person. So therefore, chanting is the pinnacle of devotional activities. One who does chanting, we see, it's my experience also. From past 3 years, I've been chanting 16 rounds continuously. And I have seen, जब chanting बहुत अच्छा होता है ना, तो डे गोज वेरी नाइस. बट व्हेन चैंटिंग डज नॉट गो, देन पूरी दुनिया थप्पड़ लगा के चली जाती है. फुल डे सुबह से रात तक पिटाई होती है. So therefore, there is any spiritualist realization you will see who has been in bhakti for past 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years, they will share the same realization. So when we perform our sadhana very nicely, then you will see, हाँ, आज दिन अच्छा जा रहा है, आज modes, material modes इतना परेशान नहीं कर रहा है. So therefore, the example and the topmost example of that was Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada went to the Western countries. At that time, hippie movement was going on. Hippie movement means drug addiction, intoxication, woman hunting, and all kinds of nonsense activities which were in dark ignorance. And I had said in earlier classes that government also were fed up of the youth at that time. इनका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. They were trying various things. They putting them in jail, beating them, but still they were not reforming themselves. But at that time, Prabhupada went there and they gave them this process. This Bhagavad Gita, he gave them the chanting process. He gave them, and by that they became very civilized. They came up to the level of brahmanas, and some of them even became sannyasis. Can you imagine? A person who was eating such non-veg at that time, who was enjoying their life with women, now became a sannyasi. So this is the power of devotional service. This is the power of chanting. This is the power of reading, hearing Bhagavad Gita. And after that transformation, which was shocking even for the government, in the newspaper news headline, it came that hippies became happies. They finally became happies. So they gave up all their bad activity. We see intoxication, it is so much addictive. But then bhakti has to be much more addictive. Why? Because a person who performs bhakti, all his intoxications are gone away. There are people like that in ACS layout. When I was conducting these sessions, there was a person who was suffering with this intoxication. But then he got inspired so much by classes, and after regular chanting, he was easily able to give up. But then people who go to rehabilitation centers and those other things, they go through a lot, very troublesome process it is. And after that also many times they fall. again into those activities. But a person who takes to devotional service very sincerely, for him all the bad samskaras which are formed in the heart, that itself get removed away. The root itself gets removed away. So there is no question of again those bad habits coming or entering into their lives. So therefore, the person Srila Prabhupada was the topmost example who went into the place of complete ignorance and he gave them this bhakti and transformed them completely. This is the power of process. The process even works today, provided that you have faith. Faith in the process, faith in the process of chanting and hearing and reading Bhagavad Gita. There are so many innumerable examples. I myself also am not from a very good background. I also did all kind of nonsense activities before coming to Bhakti. ये मेरे कॉलेज डे में तो देखते आप तो कभी सोचते नहीं ये व्यास आसन पे कैसे बैठा है आज. If you would have seen me in my college days, we do not even think that such a person could give Bhagavad Gita class. But then the process itself is so powerful that it can transform a person for sure. So therefore, you should have faith on the process that it will definitely help me, and then you will see miracles or wonders happening in your life. So therefore, devotional service will help you minimize the impact of modes. That is for sure. Now you might say for अपने अंदर तो transformation ले आएंगे, but बाहर की दुनिया का क्या? Because we have to associate with so many people outside, and when we associate with people outside, their modes of nature will impact us. So how to get along with different personalities? So nowadays it's very difficult to get along with different personalities because I heard these things that people are good at managing things, but they are very bad at managing people. लोगों को कैसे मैनेज करना है, how to manage with different type of people, and therefore people prefer लोगों के साथ नहीं रहना, they prefer to stay with gadgets. In WhatsApp also they keep this status that no calls, message only. They do not, they do want to associate with gadgets only, nothing else. लोगों से associate ही नहीं करना. But then it's also important to learn that how do we get involved or get along with different personalities. I'd heard something very nice. There will be a person in everyone's life who will test all our parameters to its extreme. Isn't it true? सबकी लाइफ में भगवान एक ना एक आदमी ऐसा भेजता ही है जो हमारा सब टेस्ट करते हैं, स्ट्रेस टेस्ट, ड्यूरेबिलिटी टेस्ट, ऑल काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट which we heard in physics. He make us go through all that. And how many have such people in their lives? It is said अगर नहीं है तो you get married. You'll definitely get that person in your life who will test you. So we meet different kind of people. Like some people we are very comfortable with, from whom we can share our heart nicely. There are some people who are manageable. कि हाँ इनसे थोड़ा बहुत बात कर सकता हूँ. And then there are other people stay at distance. दूर से ही देख के hi hello और निकल लो. And there are fourth category, ruthless person. इसके तो मुंह भी नहीं लगना. I don't even want to look at him. So now these are the various kinds of people whom we meet. And now let's see a practical tips on how to deal with these various kinds of people in a better way. So let me give you an example of marriage. Like in Vedic scriptures, our scriptures are so very amazing. In Vedic times, before marriage, they used to match something. क्या match करते हैं? Astrological chart, Kundali we say. So there was also science behind this. So I'm not a Jyotish expert, but what I have heard from superiors and what little bit knowledge I have, I'm telling from that. So in our Jyotish Kundli, there are something like Dev Guna, Manav Guna, Asur Guna, all these kinds of these things are there. So that decides upon the nature of a person. So basically that is also derived from which mode he is in. According to his past life, which mode he is in, based upon that the astrological chart is made, based upon this, these gunas are being calculated. So now before getting married, they have to check that whether the kundli is matching or not, because the matching of kundli, it says the matching of natures. Let's say a person's, the nature of girl and boys, is it matching or not? And therefore it was considered very important. If kundli is not matching, then they will never allow this kind of marriage. Like an example is given, let's say a person, the husband is in mode of ignorance and wife is in mode of passion. Weekend आया तो passion में क्या है? Weekend आया, come on, we have to go for restaurant, we have to go for movie, we have to go for shopping, so many things. Husband को बोलेगा उठो उठो चलो, and husband will say weekend let me sleep, because he is in mode of influence by mode of ignorance. So how will the match continue? Definitely it will lead to divorce, and therefore we see the divorce rates are increasing so much very nicely. But have you heard in Vedic times, maybe 2 generations back, your grandfather's generation, anyone getting divorced? Very rarely, very rarely. So this was not there in our culture. So therefore it's very important. This process itself is very important. Nowadays it might seem that kundli and all does not work because we do not have perfect astrologers. It is also great science. So a person should be very expert even in astrology to give correct predictions. So that is also a thing. नाउ यू may ask, कभी मुझे ऑफिस वालों के साथ मिलने जाना होता है, उनसे काम करना, तो उनकी कुंडली थोड़ी मांग सकता हूँ कि ये मैनेजर के साथ मेरी कुंडली मैच हो रही है, इसके साथ इसके अंडर लगाओ मुझे. यू कैन नॉट डू लाइक दैट. So then how to deal with these kinds of people, because you have to work closely and associate with them. So in Bhagavad Gita, this is very nice verse that says, nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtati akarma krit karyate hi avashah karma sarva prakriti jergune. Translation.
Everyone is supposed to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the course of living. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a
So everyone is forced to act helplessly. Have you ever experienced this? You don't want to do any activity, but still you are forced. कुछ तो force आता है अंदर से कि नहीं, I want to do only. So even though you don't want to do it, because we are all under this three modes of material nature. So it's very important to understand that a person acts under the very high influence of three modes of material nature. Like let's say a person is thrown into river, a very sharp river which is going at a very great flow. Does he have an option? He cannot go against the current. जहाँ current ले जाएगी वहाँ वो बह के चला जाएगा. The person who is also too much in the three modes of material nature, especially one who does not perform bhakti, he will also simply go from hither to third according to the waves of the modes of material nature. Like one of the FOE boy was there in this in ACS layout center only. He was very nicely connected to his mentor. So one day night he was very much depressed and he called his mentor. Right? This was around 9, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Unfortunately, he had not slept. The mentor had not slept till now, and he took up the call. And the person, he was so very depressed. He was saying that I am just about to commit suicide. वो कूदने ही वाला था. But the mentor somehow or the other he pacified him. Look, this is not the correct step. These things will happen after this, and think about your family. Somehow or the other he pacified him and he stopped him. And next day morning he went with some prasad and good wishes to meet him. And at that time, that person, he became very much yeah, a lot of gratitude came in his heart for the mentor. And he himself was saying that at that time, if you would not have stopped me, then definitely I would have taken the step. So I don't know what happened, what influenced me at that time. I was about to do it, but then now I'm feeling very peaceful. Now feeling very satisfied by your because of your guidance. So therefore, we don't know when mode of ignorance might kick in and when you perform some stupid or foolish activities. So therefore, one should be very, very patient and one should be very advanced in devotional service also. And one should have very good connection with his mentor. With his mentor, connection should be so nice that you should be able to share your heart. Because mentors, they might not be very exalted pure devotees, but they have little bit more experience. We are in this field a little bit more than you. I do not have also much experience, but 4 to 5 years elder I am in terms of spirituality. So definitely my experience can help you all, and our superiors experience can help us. So therefore, to have good experience, good connection with mentors, it's very, very important. So therefore, it's very important to also build a good relationship with the mentors. Therefore, we also come to your places with little bit prasad or to talk to you, so that a good relationship can be developed between us, and that can help both of us. हमारा भी फायदा होगा, because when Lord will see कि ये इतना मेहनत कर रहा है किसी और से भक्ति करवाने में, तो Lord will happy on us and we'll also advance in devotional service. And consequently, when you also get the help, then you will also advance in devotional service. So it's a dealing with the Lord. दोनों को कमीशन मिलता है भक्ति में आगे जाने. So therefore, even though we see consequently there is very low attendance, less than 10-15 people are coming, but still each and every session, the driving factor for me is that at least one person he will take up chanting seriously. Even if one person takes chanting seriously, then I will definitely get benefited in my devotional service. At least I think that. When Prabhupada, he used to say that even if I am preaching to so many people, but even if one person can manage to break the cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to God, then I will consider my preaching to be successful. So that is one of the good motivations for me also to continue these classes. So now we are acting helplessly influenced by the three modes. Now the question is what to do in difficult situation. The initial question, how to get along with people. So first solution, that was that minimize the effect of modes. That is through नहीं, तीनों का इन्फ्लुएंस मिनिमाइज करना है, तो कैसे मिनिमाइज करेंगे? क्या देखा हमने सॉल्यूशन? What activities help us in reducing the effects of mode of three modes? Devotional service, correct. Bhakti activities. So minimize the effect of modes on us. Second very important point is hate the sin, not the sinner. As I already said, a person might be in ignorance and he might commit some stupid activity, but when he comes to goodness, again he'll be a good person. So you should not hate the sinner, but you can hate the sin. That he did a bad activity, but you should not hate the person. By that also you can get along with people by not judging him, basically. Again, this don't form perception of on people. Now you see in English there is a saying, first impression is last impression. But after going through this class, we understand it is a bogus statement. Why? Because in first impression he might do some bad activity because he might be in mode of ignorance. But later on he might be, his base mode might be in mode of goodness. उस time पे थोड़ा दिमाग खराब हो गया तो कुछ कर दिया. So the first impression is last impression is not a correct statement, because in first go you cannot judge a person completely. And then don't ponder too much on others' misbehavior. इसने मेरे साथ ऐसा कर दिया, उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा कर दिया. All this is happening under the high currents of modes of material nature. As we say, he might not want to do that, but he's forced by the three modes of material nature. Just as a person, I gave the example, person in thrown in a deep ocean, he is also forced by the waves. So therefore, one should not ponder too much on others' misbehavior, and then one should have a higher goal in life. That is higher spiritual goal in life, not Mukesh Ambani banna hai nahi. Higher spiritual goal in life. When one has that, then he does not get disturbed by all these tiny people or tiny circumstances. When the goal is of the life is clear, to attain, go back home, back to God, to break the cycle of birth and death. So therefore, these are some of the practical tips by which you can manage people. क्योंकि कुंडली लेके हर जगह जा नहीं सकते, कुंडली एक ही जगह मैच कर सकते हैं. बाकी लोग तो based upon your karma, people will be sent. But if you follow these tips, then you can be not influenced by the three modes of material nature. At the same time, you can deal with different kinds of people. So with that, I pause. So do we have any questions, comments we can discuss? You're all scholars, I must say. एक बार में समझ. In Sanskrit, there is a term called Shrutidhar. Anyone knows the meaning of it? Shrutidhar. Shruti मतलब सुनना और धर मतलब to hold. There were people in Vedic times, एक बार सुन लिया then they can hold. Their memory was so sharp. एक बार सुन लिया, they could hold that in the memory. Even the Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was called a Shrutidhar. एक बार कोई श्लोक का, एक बार कोई statement सुन लिया, he could hold that, keep it in mind for his whole life. Therefore, he was the greatest scholar of his time. You can search about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You'll see people were mad after getting his one darshan, and Srila Prabhupada was disciple of him. So he was like that, and I see various other Shrutidhars in the classes. So, but I'm sure you might have understood a lot many things from the classes. Some new things you might have learned. So this was the final session of level 1 classes. Now next week there won't be any class. As we all know, we are all going for yatra to Srirangapatna, a small camp for 2 days. After the finishing of camp, we'll start level 2 classes. So the timings, location, venue, everything will send to you. Your mentors will contact you regarding the level 2 sessions. So how many of you registered for yatra? Okay. I hope there are some good reasons for not coming to this yatra. Hopefully. Okay, so we'll talk one to one. One to one मेरे को reason बताइए. So now we can proceed for chanting. You can distribute the beats. One beat can be given to me also. Your name I forgot to. Santosh. And your name, bro? Rohit. Okay, if you want to stretch out your legs, relax your legs, you can stretch it out. Okay. So let's begin with the most important activity. So everyone can close their eyes. Everyone knows how to use the beads, right? Okay. So now, as I keep on saying, this is the most important activity. This activity will help you minimize the modes of material nature. The more you work on quality and quantity of your chanting, the more you will advance in your devotional service. Quality and quantity both are important. One may chant 16 rounds, big number of quantity, but then if quality is not there, if he is not able to hear the names, then everything is useless. At the same time, quality itself is also very important, and with quality, you should increase quantity. So now we'll all begin chanting, remembering that this is the most important activity overall, be it material or spiritual. This is the only activity which will help you at the time of your death and during the end of your life. So it's of most utmost significant importance. So keeping that in your mind, let your mind not get distracted by any of the thoughts which are roaming around from morning. This is the time where all thoughts are to be kept aside, and the focus is only on hearing the names, the holy names of Krishna. So with this we'll begin. I'll chant the invocation mantra and you can repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone together.